it to compete against AG Global because a majority of the damage that they took was up against the blue circle.
Absolutely, and even the final zone didn't really favor PE Sports or AG Global thanks to positioning that they were put in. So Fluxo took advantage of that, they earned that win. But let's see if Purgatory changes anything, because back on Bermuda, the flight path was a bit skewed, but for Purgatory, it's an even one.
Absolutely, from Ski Lodge all the way down to Quarry, opening up the full map for all of the teams, with PE Sports being the very first one out. They take their spots on Ski Lodge right beside Gaming Gladiators at Forge. So that could just be an early skirmish depending on where the first circle takes them. And we can also see towards the top of the map, EVOS Divine up against the players from the side of Twisted Minds. Both teams have already used their R1s to scan each other out. They're going to anticipate some heavy action from each other. The only question is who gets the better weapons first and chooses to take the fight to the opposite team.
Last time these two teams had a face-off, Twisted Mind came out on top thanks to some very great long-range intervention, but it feels like we might see a repeat of that. Apex against Saming, and only one is on the aggressive end. That's going to be Saming trying to push Apex onto the low ground.
Smart play by Saming to back away. As Apex went down this hill, he got the advantage because with Saming's head peeking out, it'll just be a tad bit easier to get those headshots to put him on the ground. And now, Exposi on that left-hand flank, expecting to be able to spring a surprise on Apex, but he saw that one coming from a mile away. Just has the better gun, forcing Exposi to back away. Apex now being shut down, Saming, MP5 in hand, and Diamond! It's a 3v1 that was unfair. Of course, nobody's gonna argue that was a fantastic slay from Twisted Minds. The teamwork worked out well. The rest of EVOS Divine, though, they just don't want this early action. They continue to back away little by little.
This is such a horrible spot for EVOS Divine because they were not ready to fight this, and Twisted Minds, they used the binoculars to scan Mode House before the revive even came through, so they know that they've got EVOS Divine cornered, and Diamond, he's just going to push the advantage. Riptide Rhythm takes down his glue wall, but still, it is just Ray trying to hold the fort against the onslaught of Twisted Minds.
Yep, Ray, though, unfortunately, will have to get taken down, and this Diamond gets 2 for the squad. The second one for the guy. AimGod has already managed to get across the waters already. Nameless down on the ground. That's just going to be the distraction that's needed to slow down the ravaging Twisted Minds, who are a tad bit greedy for this points. I understand exactly why they're doing so. In the previous game, they didn't fare all that too well, getting only the 7th spot. Only 3 eliminations in Game 1 for Twisted Minds.
Oh yeah, they are still trying to find their recovery after yesterday, which, you know, is such a big contrast compared to day 2 when they showed up. Team Solid, on the other hand, finds themselves trying to run down RRQ Kazu. Razor just heal back up, gets on top of that watchtower. But Trap sees it from afar. That's a cluster that goes wide.
Yep, good pop of that A124. And I don't think he's running that Joseph. We'll have to take a peek into his list once again. Yep, no Joseph on him. So a tad bit slower, but doesn't seem to phase Trap at all. He's got a tad bit of a backup here as well as Nyx approaches the situation. Trap's a sliver of health, has to back away. Good play as those grenades came flying in. RRQ will not get the chip damage, but the Riptide Rhythm takes down their defense as a very high with the AUG just did not have enough follow-up with those shots.
Yeah, Team Solid didn't commit fully to it, but he was definitely full committing onto AG Global of all teams, and stops with no chance at all. And just like you said, AJ, it is just revenge served cold. And PE Sports finds 3.
Yeah, it was all because of AG Global. PE Sports were denied that Booyah. They kept that fight towards the edge of the blue zone earlier on. A lot of the chip damage from the zone took away the chances of PE Sports. And of course, Fluxo took the perfect timing advantage up against both these teams. AG will have to back away from this equation. Due, as he tries to drive away, we can see there's a hot pursuit right behind him. Nero, he's got some backup and he's going straight for the finisher.
There's just no point to waste time, right? Just let AG run away. We have better things to worry about. And that's going to be Gaming Gladiators, who just happen to show up when PE Sports are split apart. And Nero will get picked off. Not the best of timing. LBT trying to save it double with Tyrita. Make sure that there is no chance. LBT gets in the truck. He wants to try and run Raz down. Gets the boom and actually finds the knock LBT. Making use of the situation. The truck goes up in flames. And LBT with it.
He couldn't find the finisher. It would have been absolutely beautiful if there was a decent follow-up there. But his car was already up in flames. Poor man got denied that 1 point. But don't cry though. From afar, AUG, the perfect weapon to take on 18D, but 18D with the AC-80 in hand, just a slightly better range on that gun. And Liam now wanting to give a little bit of payback. Drogon in hand, but Wang An speeds away, not waiting to get shot down.
And Lim realizes that Hwang Ang is just one person on PE Sports that is running away. Don't Cry is providing backup, but that will be handled by Kochu. And just a very unlucky time for PE Sports, right? The moment they split apart, GG shows up and picks off 2 of them, but no worries, PE Sports finds the revive.
The hidden lesson here is don't get greedy. Don't split up because you need those numbers, especially if you want to survive in a lobby at the Esports World Cup. This is the creme de la creme of competitions, and this was that replay. LBT really trying to find that finisher, but Raz just got lucky he had more numbers. That's the backup that we were talking about. If PE Sports was a full squad, that could have gone totally different.
That's what we call a Hail Mary attempt. Just use everything at their disposal. And Lao, they were able to find an elimination early on. They also had to go for a revive, I believe, onto Kawan. But so far, they have been uncontested, right? Passing by Fluxo, who was on the other end of this island. They might run into PE Sports.
Yeah, PE Sports, they have gotten 3 revives already, but 2 of those revive players have gotten shot out of the air, so they are not having a great day. They're spending a lot of money on these revives. Perhaps they want to pull a little bit of a break on each and every single one of those players who are being brought back. Don't Cry is the final one that they need to purchase back, and I think the team's broke at this point.
Even when you look at the binoculars where they try to scan and get info, right, it is just deeper and deeper into the circle. Just now I saw them scan Dew. Yeah, sure, you found Dew, but you have no idea that Loud is there. NMG is also nearby. So PE Sports, they're just digging a deeper and deeper hole.
Yeah.
Only saving grace is that LBT has a vehicle, but I'm not sure how long it can stand. Well, not for long, it's already in flames.
Yeah, very risky play to get deep into the circle and then pull those revives. The revive players can't really fly all that too far away. And of course, that's going to be the hot point for the rest of the teams. You're just going to get shot out of the air. The safest route would be to go towards the fringes of that circle and then hit that revive. But we'll just have to wait and see exactly how this plan pans out for PE Sports. Thus far, it's not doing great.
See Lao, they have 2 sets of vehicles. They actually scan out RQ Kazu, but they might get intercepted by NMG as they go for that rotation around the edge. As PE Sports gets eliminated, it is just not their map.
It's a hidden lesson. Don't be greedy. Don't be chasing twisted minds when you have not secured yourself a perfect defensive spot out there on the battlefield. They went looking for one, and the whole team got crushed.
You know what's the most poetic part? The guy that they were chasing took them out at the very end. Sometimes you
don't look for revenge, kids.
Sometimes you wonder if Free Fire is even scripted, but I promise you it's not.
Revenge never pays.
Well, sometimes.
You gotta forgive your enemy. Just don't forget. Get them in the next game. Loud with 1 elimination in hand. Just in the house beside RRQ. They're neighbors at this point, but I don't think they will be very nice neighbors the moment they spot out dots, but the A124 will tag them up first, and the ice grenades get tossed instantaneously. But RRQ, are you gonna go knocking on your neighbor's doors just yet?
What a shot from Mao to chip away Yago's health. That could be the Kevlar damage. So for Lao, they are feeling the heat right now. It really feels like Lao isn't really used to this pressure. They are not retaliating anyway. Abe Hai takes advantage of that with the Trogon knock onto Drax, and Abe Hai has already found one. This should be the green light for RRQ to go in for the cleanup.
Weihai literally went in there, sneaked 1 quick knock, and ran straight back to his own home. That's again a nasty neighbor you do not want to live beside. Team Solid on the other hand. Nick 7 very low on that HP. Tattoo! A sliver of health, but he gets knocked down onto the ground. It's all up to Gatsa. Can he get away? 1 portal go in hand, but it's a pocket market time, baby. Buy Strap 7 right back for insurance so that the team can stay alive, and he's out of there.
As far away as possible. Team Falcons can still go for the chase if they want to. There is a paper trail left behind by Guaksha, and that goal portal is the most obvious of them all. And knowing Team Falcons, they're going to chase their prey until the end of the earth.
Yeah, good rotate from Guaksha, but RRQ will be looking for those extra points. The distraction from Loud could just keep Guaksha alive a tad bit longer. Diamond Gladiators with the jump pad have managed to rotate around, and now right beside the players of Falcons with no proper defensive spot to play around with. If Falcons moves on in for the sweep, Gaming Gladiators are going to be in a lot of trouble.
Coach Yu needs to get as much info as possible. This feels like a King of the Hill moment where Team Falcons was able to push back one team, and now another comes to challenge them. And 18 Deer, He's trying to gain some distance from Team Falcons. Can't really do much without knowing without knowing where they are.
Timing perfect for 8 India. Now he's the opposite side. Will he manage to get Peter spotted out already? There is a shot taken up against him, but only enough to push him away from the top of the tent. Kochil, on the other hand, with that long range, trying to assist. On fire, takes the fight straight up to 8 India. 8 India does have the Drogon. Can he survive? One of the best CQC players. One more pop needed, but the tent serves as the perfect defense. On fire, just in and out of the tent, just to remain alive, buying more time for Team Falcons for that backup to arrive.
Yeah, on fire with the maneuvers. It's so clean. Peter does end up going down to Rasto, so it's still disadvantages until Koskyu and On Fire replies 2-0 onto Gaimin Gladiators. And Kochu and 8 India need to somehow keep the strings intact, but it feels like Team Falcons are ready to snap them in half as they come in for the full collapse. One more Horizon Line does trigger. Ray now joins the fight. Team Falcons gets wiped out instead.
Oh, Esports Divine hops on in. That's the perfect revenge if I've ever seen one. They absolutely demolished the team, taking a couple of pot shots against them earlier in the game, and they have taught them a lesson to not do that. Esports Divine saw an opportunity, swooped on in there. Not a lot of points, but they have lesser players out there on the battlefield to worry about.
And one team that has been silent up to this point, Buriram United, who just came from the southern island into the circle. They came in with a launch pad, did get scanned out by Fluxo though.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this is going to pan out, because BRU, they still want to hog the edge of the circle. RQ and Lao, they still have their standoff going on.
Very dangerous version of Buriram United. The silent predators. Once they are fully stacked on that loot, they are very, very tough to take down. Twisted Minds, on the other hand, 5 eliminations in hand already, giving away the defensive spot to AG. All split up on the battlefield in a 2-1-1 formation. Twisted Minds, and they hold on to this with Netshoes Minus just on the left-hand side with the capability of interfering in this battle. It does not seem like a good place to be if you're a Twisted Minds player.
See that even though that's the case, Twisted Mind still wants to find some ground, especially forcing Cypher away from that small building is very crucial. Cypher now has to tank the blue damage a little bit, and Twisted Minds feeling a lot more comfortable coming into this compound as AG gathers in that final building.
AG says, "Hasta la vista, baby." The circles come in, and we do not want to be here to take that damage. They circle around, and very smartly so, they avoid the shots out of Netshoes Miners. But the battle between Buriram and Team Fluxo. Riptide Rhythm sent the way of Buriram, taking down a couple of their defenses, but great blue walls erected once again from your two-time world champs, going up against the current reigning defending champions. Wasana in a 1v3, straight into that chrono, but he does not get that knock and has to back away. Funa exposed and instantaneously dropped by MT7.
MT7's Riptide Rhythm broke the defenses of BRU, but it feels like BRU, it doesn't really matter because they are still too deadly when it comes to CQC. And Fluxo pulls it back. Caramel also wants a piece of the pie. And BRU takes pain. Fluxo does fall.
Yeah, Fluxo falls. And AG just interfering at the right time. Moshi clip from the back. One more needed, but the tree interferes and keeps Moshi alive. Not for long though. He does have the Horizon Line on him. He can't pick himself back up. And that's why you gotta purchase it. Wasana now from the back. Caramel with the charge buster cannot charge it up quickly enough. Wasana with the UFP. And he gets this shot though. Cypher with the Drogon trying to trail around. The zoo wall maze that Wasana has built around him keeps him alive for the time being. Bursts away, but still taken down.
BRU out in 8th place. What a messy fight. So many third parties, so many interventions. Wasana got left behind to fend for himself and was not able to overcome AG. As AG makes the rotation deeper into the circle, Twisted Minds, they're in a fight of their own against the Miners.
Absolutely. But now, who gets to take Twisted Minds out of the equation? Is it going to be AG? A tad bit too far away from them. Twisted Minds not going to be disturbed at all. RRQ, on the other hand, in a lot of trouble as Loud knocks down on their doors. Razor, Duts, Beihai all on the ground. It's all up to Ma'al to play the game of Medic. Razor out. Duts picked right back up. They have to back away. Beihai. One more player picked up, and RRQ, great recovery from the squad.
In the meantime, Team Solid also got eliminated from the competition, and this is getting so tight. Esports Divine in a very good position to plan for that final phase as they were uninterrupted so far.
Indonesians really dominating this match this time around. Aim God from afar. Straight to the head of Lost 21. Knocked down on the ground, but no finish yet. The guy's right back up on his feet with that backup. RRQ moving in for the shutdown, but they don't want to take this one too aggressive. Instead, they focus on the players right outside. Riptide Rhythm takes down the defense, but a good glue wall in a timely manner erected once again to keep those players safe.
As much as the timing was alright, it still allowed Drax to sneak in a shot, and now Ray finally found Evil Divine just wants to survive all these bullets firing at them. They really don't have a chance to retaliate thanks to the immense amount of pressure, but if they hold on long enough, I do believe that they can have a good chance of taking the booyah.
And that's the beauty of using that M82B, the capability to penetrate through all of those glue walls, to chip at those players behind them, behind those defenses, making those glue walls absolutely useless out there in the open. But now RRQ, they've got a great defensive spot to play around with, and they're not giving it up just yet.
I don't know, AJ. This is about to get absolutely messy.
Yeah.
5 teams in 2 buildings, and Evil Divine, the only one right outside. Exposy trying to take initiative. Is up behind to take a bit of pressure. A-Backs again found by Dew. AG just, they do not want Evil Divine to have that much room to work with.
Yeah, this desperate shots from everyone out here. They're just trying to knock down each and every single player they can find. That's on Yago. Lost 21 does manage to get 2 RRQ players down on the ground. A Bay High still alive. Getting slashed by Drax. And it's the site that will put up a high down on the ground, but RRQ is not done and dusted just yet.
And even Drax is beaten and battered. Round 1
and that's it.
Take out Drax and Deuce, eliminating RRQ in the process. Netshoe Miners here to play, here to stay. They see Evil Divine on the far end, and Evil Divine is split into a 2-2 formation.
Yeah, Netshoe's Miners were told to mine in the next game, and they're doing exactly that, waiting all the way up into this final circle before they pick up those solid points. But Twisted Minds leading with the eliminations here. 10 solid on their side, waiting, biding their time, but here comes the blue zone, forcing them out of their defenses, and right outside stands the players of Evil Divine waiting to welcome them.
And Saifa tries to go for the hot drop ambush, and finds Sahaming, the most important member of Twisted Minds. He does go down thanks to Exposy, but damage is done. Diamond takes himself out with a grenade launcher. The Twisted Mind falls. This is pandemonium in the final circle. Evil Divine showing up to try and look for the booyah, AJ.
Yeah, Netshoe's Miners waiting, biding their time, and the timing was played perfect. Ray down on the ground. They cannot give that back up to the rest of his team members. He's blocked out by the fences, and Netshoe's Miners will dominate this area in a 4-man strong squad. They're looking for Gade and A-Backs. Round 1, knocked down onto the ground. The Drogon used perfectly, but Netshoe's Miners says, no thank you, sir. We grab booyah number 2.
Brazil roaring to life in a point rush. Netshoe Miners, Fluxo, teams that we just said we put on the bottom of the list, coming in hot in the first 2 rounds, and maybe this is the spirit of Brazil, awakening the tiger when it matters the most.
Absolutely brilliant. You have to bide your time, and they played the meta of Buriram. Keep quiet. Don't mess around with anyone. Just watch your